Is that the end of the movie?
No.
What? That's not the end?
Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Aaliyah. Today we're joined with
Watson.
For today's video, I'm going to be explaining this movie I watched a long time ago called Needful Things to Watson here. Have you seen the movie?
No.
No? When I first watched this movie, I was in high school during my film class, and first of all, I want to put some ground rules about this video here. This is my video. We're about to be speaking another language that only we understand, and if you catch up, you're lucky. Okay? You'll get it once I start explaining, because this movie is wild. So let me lay down the premise of it. So, imagine you're in a small town, everyone neighbor to neighbor, you know, that's the lady down the street with the dog, and that's the lady who bakes the pies, and it's a town.
Okay.
We're in Castle Rock, and all of a sudden one day a shop pops up in the middle of the town. But it's a small town, so it's just like, how did this happen without us knowing? Secrets don't really hold long in small areas.
Mm-hmm.
So the shop opens up, and it's an antique shop, and there's nothing really special about it, but everything inside of there is what everyone wants. So,
oh, okay. That's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think of what my needful thing would be, and I honestly don't know. So, for example, let's say this lady walks by the shop, or walks in the shop, and she's looking around, she's not really interested in anything, but all of a sudden, this prized possession she had when in the 3rd grade, her favorite pencil, it just pops up on a beautiful pillow, and he's just like, oh, I see that you're interested in this 2003 number 2 pencil that you had in the 3rd grade with your teeth marks still in it.
That sounds very specific, and I'm gonna assume that this man is a creep.
No. So it's kind of like that.
Oh, let me cherish your pencil for you until you come back for it.
No, because it would just be things very specific to the people that go in. So the thing is, he wants them to come in. He wants to attract them with the thing, so he can make a deal with them, so they can ruin their lives.
So basically, that one episode of Rick and Morty when the devil pops up.
It's literally based off. Yeah, that episode is based off of it. So you kind of seen it. That's the law of the land. You see where we are. You see what's happening, right?
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm gonna introduce you to some of the characters. We have Cop. Like I said.
Oh, that's...
Yes, I'm calling them what I call them. If you really want to know the characters, I'm sure there's other people that are, doing deep dives, and I'm just explaining the movie. You get it? If you're on board, you're on board. And if you're not, see you at the next stop. His character is really interesting to the plot because he came from a big city to get away from the drama, and now he's in a small town as a cop. We have a cop. Cop is engaged to the diner girl. Diner girl works with Nettie. There's some people I like them enough to remember their name. So, Cop, Diner girl, Nettie. Oh, her name's Polly?
Polyamory, sorry.
I mean, hold on to that.
Wait, what?
So, the shop owner name is Leland Gaunt, but we're gonna call him the Devil. So, the devil's first victim was this little boy. I think his name is Brian. And Brian's like looking around. And then he's like, oh, I like baseball cards. I've actually been collecting them. And the only one we didn't get was this one from the Yankees team, the specific person. And that's the only one I'm ever missing. And then the devil's like, you mean this one? With your name signed on it? He's like, what the? How did you get my name signed in it? What does that mean? What does that mean? He's like, why don't you look at it? And when he touches it, it shows them it does a little shock, and it shows them visions of them so when the boy touched it, it showed him a vision of him at the game seeing like his favorite character play, and he's like, that's the feeling that you will have if you get this card. So then they're just like, oh my god, I need this card. But the boy's like, I only got 95 cents. And he's like, let's consider it half. So, I'll take your 95 cents if you do a little deed, a little prank for me.
Oh, I was about to say, don't say deed. It's like, oh, wait, what's going on here? Well,
I like to call it deeds because that's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's like beefing with each other because of like him. And he doesn't even do anything. He doesn't lift a finger the whole movie. So I call them deeds. So he tells Brian to go down to the turkey lady's farm, get some turkey poop, and smear that on the sheets that she just pinned up nicely, white sheets, right?
Oh, God.
So, meanwhile, we cut back to his shop. Brian's off doing his tasks. And then we see Turkey Lady come in, and she's with Nettie. So, Nettie has a dog, like I said.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I want to say it's like an emotional support animal.
Mm-hmm.
But the lady doesn't like the dog because the dog's like barking. She's like, shut that thing up before I shut it up. Like, she's being very nasty. But once the boy goes to do his task, it cuts to the devil like writing in this notebook, giving very much Death Note. And he has the nastiest like acrylic set I've ever seen. It's very crunchy. They're like yellow nails. Here, look.
Oh no, the evil hands.
Yes, he has. They show a shot of his evil hands, and this is nasty yellow acrylic.
They did not.
And he's writing down the people's names, like keeping,
Yeah, little tabs on them.
keeping tabs on his people that have deeds to do. At this point, everybody and their mom is at this guy's shop, like things that you've seen in your dreams just pop up in the window, and you're just like, oh my god, I have to get it. My favorite cup, my favorite glasses. So for Nettie, her thing was this small figurine. She's just like, oh my god, this figurine, I love it so much. Literally, probably the size of my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very small. Once she touches the statue, it shows her of a flashback of her late husband abusing her, and he breaks the thing in the middle of one of their arguments. So now she sees the same figurine that she loved that was broken, and so she's having her own like emotional trip about it. And then she's like, yeah, my late husband, and he's like, oh, my condolences. And she's like, oh, don't do that. He's like, oh, murder wasn't that easy, wasn't it? And then she's like, how do you know that? But he's like, but look at this figurine. So, she just forgets that comment. Everyone has their own interactions with this man and just seamlessly, like, just forget what they were, like, he would say specific things. But you'll see.
Wait, so this woman murdered her ex-husband for being abusive.
Yeah.
And he knows about this.
But how? Maybe it's a rumor in town, but like he just got into town.
It's funny you keep calling him the devil, but I'm like, oh yeah, if he's a devil, that makes sense. But then I realized you're just calling him that, and I'm like, oh wait a minute, if that's just the case, how the hell does he actually know this?
Exactly.
This man.
But I mean, Nettie's deed was to play a prank on. I think he's the mayor.
The mayor.
He's the mayor, but he has a gambling addiction, and he doesn't like to be called Buster, but everyone in town calls him Buster behind his back.
I just think it's funny because, like, if you're the mayor and you have a gambling problem, all those taxes that you paid are literally just going to the casino. And I just imagine, like...
Well, in this case, he, what's it called? Is it called, when you're taking money from the company?
Laundering?
Yeah. $20,000 of the town's funds in gambling. But he likes a specific type of gambling. It's horse races.
Oh, why? You're so dumb. No. That is so dumb. Why would you do it for horse race? You could have literally done it for poker. That would have been a better chance. You would have had a better chance with poker. Texas Hold'em, my G.
Hey. So at this point, everyone's coming in, everyone's getting their deeds, their pranks, everyone's messing with each other. The next person was like the town's drunk, and he goes by the shop, and he walks in, and he's like, "Oh, everyone's mean to me because I'm drunk and I'm a bum and a hobo," and and the guy says like, "Oh, take off your jacket, it looks wet." He's like, "You got a nice jacket in the window." And it was a varsity jacket from his glory days in high school.
Oh, no.
Right? So he puts on the jacket and he's like getting
No.
visions of himself like back in high school, driving around the cars, like he's a jock, and he's like, yeah.
No, hold on. No, like my main problem and concern is that these people have nothing to do and they just really want they want way too much. Because I'd have been asking, "Hey, yo, bro, how you got my pencil? How you got my jacket, my G? I thought I threw that joint away."
It's just like, it's not even like that it was theirs. It's more like it's something that they always wanted. There's two people. It's a reverend and a pope. So Catholic and Christian, I think. I don't know. But they got beef because they think they're better than each other for some reason. So one day, I think it was the Reverend, he walks in and he's just like, "Hello, sir. Can I put these stickers that say no to the devil in your window?" And the guy's like, "No, I can't put those in my window. I'm here to serve everyone like you." So he is the devil. That's why he was like, "You're not putting say no to me in my window. Can you stop? This is not the DARE program. You better back away." Say no to drugs. He's like, "No."
Bro, come on now. If that wasn't an obvious sign for you guys to kick this man out of town.
No.
Like, I can understand wanting something so bad that you would do anything for it, but like for the whole town to be going against each other this way.
No, it gets worse. It gets worse. It gets worse.
Like, wait. Cool question.
Mm-hmm.
If you want like if you're like one day you want one thing and the next day you want something else, could you come back to grab it?
No. It's like this item is. That's why I was like, what could be my item? This item is something that you would do anything for.
Oh, I mean, like, could you ever go back to grab something else?
I mean, sure, but you have no reason to because you have the thing that you want. You become obsessed with it. So, we're going back to, her name is Polly. The cop's fiance's name is Polly. She works at the... Stop. This scene was weird because she's literally closing up the shop and the devil pops in as she's locking the door to leave. And he's like, "Oh, I thought you guys are still open. I just wanted a cup of coffee. All the lights are off." She's like, "Oh, you're that guy everyone's been going to in the town. Of course, you're credible. Let me just make you some coffee." So then he tries to shake her hand. She's like, "Oh, I have arthritis. I can't do that." Hold on to this. They meet each other. As everyone's getting their deeds, is also being layered with like the consequences of what's happening. So then it just turns, like by the end of the movie, it's a shitstorm. It's like going crazy. So Nettie's deed was to go to the mayor's house and put parking tickets all over his house signed by this cop that gave him a parking ticket at the beginning of the movie. But he's distracted because he's stuck in his office playing with the horse game. But let me tell you, he gets his horse game from the devil. But it's a special type of horse game because he can use real life racehorses and like say, okay, this one's going to be lucky number 6, this one's going to be, and it matches, like whoever wins is the actual winner of the real race. But he becomes so caught up in it, he never actually gambles anything. Like, he's stuck in the office while Nettie's running around, like, with the newspaper, looking at different horses, and, like, playing his game, like, woohoo, like, going crazy. He stopped going to work because he's hiding because he's not going to find the $20,000, and the cops have already gave him a warning saying, you got 4 days. We cut back to the boy. He still has his baseball card. He's just hanging out alone somewhere with his baseball card. And then the devil pops up and he's like, hey, I see that you have somebody of mine. And then he says like, but you said I could have it. He's like, I said you can have it if you finish the job. You didn't finish the job.
Wait, I thought he smeared the poop already.
But that's not like, it's whatever he says until you're done. Until you pay back. So at this point, it's like the town's enjoying their goodies, but at what cost? Like, everyone's going to chaos. Brian goes back to Turkey Lady's house with apples that Nettie uses for her apple pies and starts throwing them through the lady's house, hitting, like, he wasn't missing a thing. Like, 10 out of 10. Like, good job. Like, we'll see you in the next game.
No.
Yeah. Like, battle rap. Like, he was literally throwing apples to this lady's house. Like, TV, like, destroyed.
But is it really... I'm not even gonna ask if it's worth it. Oh my gosh.
For a baseball card, right?
For a baseball card, bro?
Mm-hmm. The devil closes the shop because he got everyone. He's gotten everyone. He literally says, put a sign on the door, closed until further notice. And then you see him sitting back in the chair, just like, No, he's literally just like sitting in front of the fire, just like, if he had, like, at this point you see his full, like, form. He has, like, yellow teeth and his, like, acrylics. Like, he's just really, like clicking his acrylics. He might as well had a kitten sitting on his lap, like, petting it evilly. Just sitting in front of the fire.
Oh, no, I gotta watch this movie.
It's so good. I know what you're thinking. What did that guy have to do to get the jacket? The town's drunk, remember? His task was to go to Nettie's house, and Nettie wasn't home at this point because she was at Buster's house playing her little prank. She goes to Buster's house, she's gone. You ever played GTA 5?
I mean, yeah, just a little bit.
Remember Chop? He goes to Nettie's house.
Like...
He says,
Wait.
I got a good jacket, and I'm going to keep it.
Yo, wait.
Everyone's like doing their tasks and it's all layered. So you're seeing people's consequences happen as soon as they're finished their own deed. Like it's very interesting. And you're seeing it throughout the movie in different times, but they all come back. Oh, good God. It's so good. Nettie's like, kiki, I got out of there. Because she almost got caught by the mayor in her little prank. So she's like, kiki, I got out of there. She gets home, she's like, doggy, where's my dog? Where's my dog? And then she's walking to this closet, and then the dog falls from the closet, but it's hanging with the legs tied to the back. He used that dog like a jacket, ripped it right off.
Oh.
He said, "This is 100% real, baby."
Maybe I shouldn't watch this movie, dog.
I think that was the worst part of the movie for me. That was the worst part every time I watched it.
How many times did you see it?
Like 3 times.
3 times? Wait. So you watched it 1 time at school. What was the other 2 times?
I watched it with Josh, and then I watched it again.
Oh my gosh.
So every time I watched it, that was the worst part for me. Like, literally. And then it's just like, all this for a tiny statue.
Oh, I thought it was a jacket.
No. She did this, like, because of her deed for a tiny statue, she lost her dog. And he did that for a jacket.
Oh.
Yeah. Stupid, right?
Was there anything that anybody could have done to him?
Who, the devil?
The homeless guy.
Oh, he gets his piece. Nettie finds the dog, right? At the same time, the turkey lady comes home. She sees all those apples, and she's like, my jars, my TV, my freaking, like, everything's broken. Like, there's nothing left of this house. He had, like, a whole box of apples. She literally finds out, she's like, that bitch. She grabs a machete, or a cleaver, and as she turns around, Nettie's behind her with the knife behind her back. And she's like, you've killed my dog. And she's like, you destroyed my microwave. The turkey lady swings.
What?
She misses. And Nettie, like, she gets her from underneath and gets her one time.
Yo.
Then they're swinging. I'm talking about, they battling through the house, stabbing, slicing each other up. They get all the way to the top of the house. At this point, the dude, her husband, outside feeding the turkeys, he didn't hear the apples getting thrown. So, because, you know, the gobbling and stuff. So he gets back, and he's a little farther away from the house. But he gets back, and he's like, hey, Wilma, the windows are broken. Hey? And then he hears them crashing into things. They're at the top in front of this window. And then she's like, come get me, bitch. And then at this point, a lot of dramatics happen. They done switch weapons, right? So Nettie got the machete, and the other girl got the knife. And then she jumps at her, bursts through the window. She got her right in between her head, and then they land on the ground, and the lady got her Nettie in her stomach. And they land on the ground, and you see the thing in her head and the thing coming out her back. And double homicide. Yeah.
You skinned my dog alive. So now we gotta fight.
Yeah, that's literally what it was. And then back at the shop, the devil started flirting with Polly. Polyamorous. The mayor's on the run because they gave him 4 days, and he spent all 4 of those days playing the horse game. And the devil gives Polly a necklace that heals or lessens the pain for her arthritis. Like, she can use her fingers again. That gift was the most manipulative of all of them. I can only imagine being given something that helps me, and you're only doing it to, like, make me do stuff. He puts the necklace on her, and he's like, maybe you should, like, let it touch your skin. It's gonna help you. And she's like, I'm wearing a button up. He's like, I gotcha. He starts unbuttoning her shirt a little bit, and then the necklace falls and touches her skin, and it flashes a vision of them in bed, like, making out. The devil and her.
Yep.
Back at the crime scene.
We're just gonna walk over that?
Oh yeah, back at the crime scene, we got, you know, Nettie and the turkey lady. They out of commission for a little bit, but we see the Reverend start praying over their body, right? And then the Pope comes to start praying over her body even louder, and they start like, "Our Father, who art in the heaven," they started like battling over their bodies. That's how you know, like, the town is completely in shambles. Like, it's not looking cute for anyone. Okay.
This sounds just as bad as The Purge.
Hold on to that thought.
Oh my god.
So Brian starts to feel a little guilty for what he did, and because, you know, he literally did this. He attempts unaliving himself with the cops or the mayor's gun. Yeah, but the cop stops him, so Brian lives.
Okay.
Wait,
hold on. What grade did you say you watched this in?
Oh, high school.
High school?
Yeah, like maybe sophomore year.
I thought you were watching this like some type of middle school, and like.
I'm sure I got permission from my mom. So,
This is a lot of depth for like.
My coworker was like, "How are you watching this? This will give me nightmares." No, it's entertainment. It's funny.
No, because like I would not expect them to be able to watch this in school. Period, regardless of the grade level.
It's film class. It's for the
regardless of the situation.
It's a classic.
There are many other movies.
We watched the other ones. Anyways, also thought that it was really funny for like the prop weapons, because okay. The town drunk, he's wearing his jacket now, but he gets thrown out of this bar because he keeps kicking the jukebox when it skips. So he gets kicked out, he lands in front of his car, and he sees that his tires were stabbed, and he just assumed it was the bar owner who kicked him out. So then he walks to the devil's little shop, and he's like, "Man, no one likes me, this town sucks." And then the devil's like, "How about we take care of that?" And puts a gun on the table. And I was just like, huh? the devil gave Polly the necklace that, healed her arthritis. So, she has to go home. The cops notices. And he's like, he gave you this necklace. Haven't you wondered, like, what's in it? So she's, like, trying to tinker at it. And she's like, no, stop. Why can't you just let me have healthy hands? And then he leaves because now he's going to go to the shop. He sees the sign that says closed. And he breaks into the shop. And it's clean. Wiped out. There's nothing there. There's dust. Leland packed up. The devil packed up. Okay?
And no one ever thought, this is really crazy, really suspicious, and maybe we should be concerned.
I think the only reason the cop kind of knew is because Brian told him what he did. And then he realized he did it because of the dude. So that's the only reason. But everyone also is getting deed from him, so you would just assume so with everyone else. But no, they don't. While the cop is at the shop, investigating, he finds these articles where it's like, oh, town destruction, family house fire in different towns in different states and just a bunch of newsletters of misery. And he pieces it together that, he comes in, he ruins the town, he saves these as a collection because he sees the first newsletter of Nettie and Turkey Lady's, double homicide. So he sees that, and he's like, whoa, this dude is sick, and not the good kind. He forgot a very important rule. Never leave your girl behind alone.
Yo.
So Nettie's looking at the necklace. She's poking around in it. She's trying to open it now because she's curious. And it shocks her. It rips off her neck and her hands immediately revert back to arthritis. But then the devil pops up in her room saying, oh, I can help you with that. And he's like, don't ever take it off. And he puts it back on her again. And she's like in like this bra and like underwear type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like looking at each other, touching each other, and then they started making out. And then he was just like, your fiance's a loser. He's whack. His fit's whack. His boat's whack. You should check what he has on his boat. See what he's doing. So then she goes to the dude's boat and sees envelopes of all this money. Looks like he's been like stealing money. So she like takes off the ring, she leaves him there. Or she divorces him.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, the town's going to chaos. The dude gave the town drunk a gun and he went back to the bar. And the dude at the bar was just like, nah, I got a gun too. And they had a blicky on blicky fight. And they both took each other out. The cop goes to the church and he's wondering if there's a devil. And then the church guy's like, no, well, if there's a devil, what's that? That dang priest down the street, he's still beefing. And the church blows up. It blows up.
Oh, I thought you meant metaphorically.
No, the church blows up. Turns out the mayor running away from the police with the gambling addiction has become completely unhinged. He tries to go after that parking ticket cop. And the parking ticket cop's like, can you stop? They handcuff him to his car. And he gets in his car and drives all the way home with his hand handcuffed outside of it. Yeah. And then he's yelling at his wife and he's very abusive. He's like, give me that hammer, give me that screwdriver. And he's like, you're not going to run anywhere. You're just trying to run from me. Because she sees, like, he's handcuffed to the car. So he's, like, grabbing her as he's, like, taking out the door handle so he can free his hand. And then, all of a sudden, he just takes the hammer and starts Bob the Builder-ing her face.
Oh.
Yeah, and it cuts to him, like, washing it off in the sink, like, oh, my wife. He goes back to the devil. I'm talking about dude spiraling. He goes back to the devil. He's like, I did this. And he's like, it's okay. sometimes things need to be done. He'll be... It's okay.
It's okay. You only murdered your wife. That
okay.
happens all the time.
It's just a little oopsie.
Oopsie.
And then...
What's up with the hammer?
He gives him a bunch of bombs and tell him to go blow up places. So that's what he was doing. As you can see, you can probably tell why I really enjoyed this movie by now. Very chaotic.
You're crazy. Gotcha.
No.
Crazy. Bob the Builder, her face. You know, that's a very...
Can we fix it?
No, we can't.
We're pretty much towards the end of the film where everyone's like trying to get each other. At this point, the two churchmen start duking it out for the gods. I mean, for God. Sorry. He sees like people are looting and there's fire everywhere and there's so many explosions. So, one of the pastor dudes are about to get the other one with this weapon, and then the guy's like, stop, stop, stop. And the cop started letting off rounds into the sky, getting everyone's attention. And he's like, can't you see he's using like our fear and our greed to put hate towards each other? We were a small town of people, and we loved each other like a small town of people would. So they're just like, yeah, yeah. And he's like, the boy told me he did the deed, and I know you all did deeds. And then they started confessing their deeds to each other like a AA meeting. Like, hi, I'm Jill, and I'm an alcoholic. Like they're just... I stole the Treasure Island book, and I slashed your tires, and I put the money envelopes on your desk, and yeah, they started confessing. The mayor dude says, cut that rah-rah out, and shoots cop dude. He shoots him like in the shoulder or something, and they're like, oh my god, what's going on? And then he walks out, and he's just like, you people, the town, really messed with me, and you always made fun of me, and this will be the end of you. So he shows the bomb strapped to his chest. Did I say that? No, I missed that part. So the mayor guy reveals that he has a bomb strapped to his chest, and he was going to blow up everyone. And then he was just like, that's why he was just like, you townspeople are so mean, and I'm gonna put an end to everyone, and I'm taking you all down with me. And then the devil was like, come on, Buster, get it to it. Like, Buster, you're really gonna come on, Buster. And he's like, stop calling me Buster. You're just like the rest of them. And then he's like, you know what? He literally turns around to the devil, walks up to the town shop, and everyone, like the cop looks around, he's just like, so everyone started backing up and started ducking and covering as the dude's walking towards the devil. And he's like, no one calls me Buster. And then he jumps through the window with, like, tackling the devil and blows up the shop.
Is that the end of the movie?
No.
What? That's not the end? How do you go off from that? So,
everyone gets up from the rubble. They're, like, dusting off, picking each other up. They're, like, looking at the rubble. And then all of a sudden, all you hear is... Man, that didn't turn out how I wanted. The devil, he's like...
Did they ever, like, explicitly call this man the devil or something? Because there's no way you survive a bomb and you're like, everybody's thinking like you're a normal person.
The devil literally pops up and he's like, you really thought that was going to kill me, girl? Try again. Actually, never mind. And then he, like, tosses the handcuffs because one of the handcuffs are still stuck to the dude. He tossed the handcuffs to the other cop and they were like, burning up. It's like, bye, bitch. Like, he's like over it. And then he walked up to the cop and he's like pretty much, you got me this time, me. Like, but he was like, give my regards to your grandson. His name's gonna be Bob. And then he, like, says something, he's great in his trade. And then we'll meet again, like, August 11, 2053. Like, it's just like, we'll make headlines. It's like, and then he walks past the townspeople, gets into a Mercedes. I think it was a Mercedes. Don't quote me, I don't know cars. He gets into a fancy car, and then he drives away. And that's the end of the movie. Needful Things.
Anything before the year 2000 always had very much creativity amongst it. It's wild and outlandish, and I always love those movies.
But it's based off the book, so I can only imagine we're missing. We're still yeah. We only know half the story watching the movie, so I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Have you seen any other of his work?
Probably. I probably don't know by name. I probably don't know that he actually made the movie, but I probably watched his work.
I think if we were to do this again, I would do Gerald's Game.
Mm.
It's a movie I watched randomly I think I was with a bunch of like family.
Mm.
And it's just wild too. All of his stories are wild. I really enjoyed this movie because I have a deep appreciation for the charming villain. I eat it up every time. Like The Labyrinth, Twilight. Give me a charming villain and I'll eat it up.
Omni-Man.
Omni-Man. Exactly. No spoilers.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. But this movie is just crazy and very interesting for like I have nothing else to compare it to.
That's the best part about movies before the 2000s. It wasn't. I'm telling you, it's always outlandish. It was always outlandish. That was the best part. It was like complete fiction. It probably could never happen to you.
Mm.
But then the off chance that it does happen to you.
Hey, got another movie.
You're right. Like that was always the best part about the 90s. Now everything's about it has to be more real. Oh, this could never happen.
That's true. Thank you for watching this video. I do recommend watching Needful Things. Please do. Like and follow all their social medias at hialiyah_ and at Daisy Duo on Twitch. And we'll see you guys next time. Actually, next time you see us, we will be in Orlando to celebrate Halloween. Anything else?
Nope. Bye.